Everyone has heard about the MVP, the minimum viable product, and every book out there about business is teaching us that before you invest full on into a business, you need to test a minimum viable product to see that it sells. And you learn this in lean methodology, you learn this in traditional startup books, it's everywhere. But what no one's talking about is that you need to be testing the marketing before anything else. Because if you build this magical MVP, there's absolutely no guarantee that the marketing will work. However, to test the marketing, you don't need to build an MVP. You can start by testing the marketing. And if the marketing works, if you're getting on sales calls with qualified leads and they're interested in buying, then it may be worth it building an MVP, because it can take several months to create an MVP, especially if it's a product, not a service. Now, if it's a service, I recommend, of course, just following a working, proven business model, so you don't need an MVP. But in general, you want to test the marketing first with anything that you do. Now, there are so many different marketing approaches and funnel approaches, but online, what it usually comes down to is the advertising, copywriting, and web design. If you have those three things handled, and web design in the broadest sense of the word, by the way, if you have those three things handled, then you usually have a funnel running. And once you have a funnel running, you can test marketing, you can run traffic to the funnel, and then see if it converts. So let's say you want to test a funnel. You want to test a video that you filmed that is the front end of the funnel that tells people to go into the funnel, to apply, to give their email address, and so on. And you use videoblogs.com with your own voiceover to create the video. Then you basically do web design with Thrive Architect, or if you want to go even easier, you can use ClickFunnels or Lead Pages or Unbounce, or whatever it's called. There's a million of these solutions basically where you don't need to be a developer and still have the ability to create a whole funnel from scratch. Kajabi is another one. So you do that, and then you run Google ads or Facebook ads, which isn't very difficult. You can watch online courses or be part of the mastermind or of a mastermind and learn these things. So you can test the copy, you can test the advertising, and then you can test the design, okay? So if you test those three things and it starts converting, you're starting to get sales calls or buyers, you're good to go. That means you can create the MVP. So how do you test something on an offer that doesn't exist yet? If you don't have the service or the product developed yet, how do you test that? Well, you can be honest. You can just say, we're still creating this. Would you like to opt in and get an email notification in a couple of weeks when we're ready to launch? And we're going to give you special terms because you signed up early, right? And you can also get them on a sales call and just test things out on a sales call, see what they're interested in buying and see how much money they're reasonably going to be able to spend on this. So you can test things without building the product, without building an MVP, by just kind of pretending you have one already for the time being, or being completely honest and saying that you're still building it. And then when people want to buy, you say, okay, you can in a few weeks when we're 100% ready, but you're on the waiting list. So what happens after marketing works, and when do you know if marketing works? Well, if you're getting sales or if you're getting strong yeses on people's desire to buy from you, what you do is then you build the MVP. And then the minimum viable product is very minimal, okay? So once you do get to the minimum viable product, it's gonna be very minimal, and that's what you build until you have 10, 20 clients, and then you create an iteration process where you're constantly changing the product or service based on needs and desires of the clients and their complaints and their celebrations, what they're happy about, the results that they're getting. So that's how you adjust the minimum viable product and build it out into a real offer. And this is very different from how most people work. Most people think that you need to come up with every single part in your own head yourself, maybe buy some market research. But in reality, you're building whatever it is you want to build over time as you're working with people. This makes a lot more sense because it's based on their feedback and based on real world results, not based on just ideas and concepts. So what I want you to do next is I want you to watch this video here, which explains a business model. It summarizes a business model that you can follow if you're interested in business. Check out this video here. And also I'd like you to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like this video and you'd like more free videos about marketing, entrepreneurship, business, and sales. My name is Aleksander Vitkin. Here's the next video to watch, and thank you for watching.